Chapter 6 in The Genius of Jesus is the genius of the good. Now, this for me is the most nuanced chapter in the book. And in fact, if I could just give you a little behind the scenes experience for me, as I was writing this chapter, I was writing down words that were affecting me because they were forcing me to unwrap my internal compass. I think sometimes it's hard to understand how a person makes decisions and why they make certain decisions. And one of the things I've learned in my own life is that sometimes even people who believe in the same things I believe in are confused by the way I make my choices. And I think it's because Christianity has historically been about what's right and what's wrong. It's about choosing between the right and the wrong. It's choosing between good and evil. And I actually think human decisions are far more nuanced than that. And that in fact, many times people have chosen to do, quote, what is right. And because of that, they didn't do what was good. And in this particular conversation, we're going to thin slice. It's big slice, good and evil. Do good, don't do evil. Not so hard, right? Big slice, right and wrong. Do the right thing, don't do the wrong thing. See, and so early on in my faith, a lot of my choices were fairly straightforward because there were things that I had been doing that maybe were not so good. And now I'm choosing to do the things that are good. And it was like moving boulders for me. But then as I continued my journey with Jesus, those boulders moved to stones, and those stones moved to rocks, and those rocks moved to pebbles, and those pebbles moved to sand. And now there were things in my life that no one else could see, but I knew they were there. And if you have enough sand in your pockets or you're carrying enough sand, it'll be just as heavy as a boulder. And I had to begin to decide, how do I make the nuanced decisions about my life when it's not as clear as good and evil and right and wrong? I'm not waking up in the morning going, do I rob a bank or do I go work at a food bank? I'm not waking up in the morning trying to make decisions that have these clear black and white moral textures. I'm actually doing something so much more textured, so much more complex. And it's now having to choose between right and right. Now that's when it gets confusing. Not when you're choosing between right and wrong. When you're choosing between one right thing and another right thing and another right thing and another right thing, which is the right thing that you do. And frankly, being right is all about you. Doing good is all about others. And it's a significant shift in our life. As long as we're asking the question, am I doing the right thing? It really is all still about you, because you want to do the right thing. You want to be righteous. You want to be in right standing with God or with others. It's about doing good for others. And once you start shifting from doing what is right to doing what is good, it elevates you. And so I want you to hear me clearly. See, doing what is good will never take you beneath doing what is right. Doing what is good will always elevate you above what is right. But if you spend your whole life only doing what is right, you will never elevate to the level of the genius of Jesus. Because Jesus' genius was to move the conversation out of what is right to what is good. And so when doing what is right is at war with doing what is good, always choose the good. It's the most powerful internal compass you will ever have in your life. Doing the most good you can. Doing the good that you're created to do. There's a genius within the good that has yet to be unwrapped at the level that Jesus has unwrapped it for us in the scriptures. Jesus lived his life not simply doing what was right. In fact, a lot of times he did things other people thought were wrong. But what he always did was good.